Steve Campbell here from Cornerstone Wealth Advisor Group, and here's a question. Do you know where your money is invested? Now, that's kind of maybe a crazy question. I mean, most people know, okay, yeah, I've got the S&P 500. I have this particular mutual fund or that particular ETF. But do you know what the companies that you're invested in, how they make money? Now, bear with me for a little bit. Today's message is really geared towards Christians, people of faith, people who have accepted Jesus as their Savior, people who want to please God with their life. And yet, up until just recently, there were not options for Christians to invest their money and avoid what we would call sin stocks. Now, I know you're probably thinking, I bet you he doesn't have any fun in his life. He doesn't do anything that's risky or anything like that. That's not me. I like to live my life. But recently, in the last 15 months, I was confronted with this issue. Are there companies that you own and are making big amounts of money that are doing things to do that you would not be proud of with your relationship with Christ? In particular, is it right or is it wrong to make money off of child exploitation? Is it fair to make money as a believing Christian who wants to please God in everything that I want to do in life? If my money goes to advance pornography or gambling or drunkenness or any of the anti-family movement, the transgender, the LGBTQ movement. And, it's just been, for me, recently, that as a Christian, I was confronted myself with that issue. How much money am I allowed to make as a believer in stocks of companies that God would not be okay with? Abortion. And one of the things that I think was a real surprise to me was companies that we think are not doing business in these areas actually are. So many of the pharmaceutical companies that we may shop with and we may buy our own prescription drugs through, we think that the only thing that they're about is helping us deal with maladies in life like high blood pressure or back pain or even cancer or heart issues. I take a statin, the company that produces my statin, that particular drug is blessing me in my life, probably going to extend my life. But many of these pharmaceutical companies now also offer the morning after abortion pill. So instead of going and getting an abortion, a person takes a pill the next day, which terminates their pregnancy. Now, am I okay with that? And I believe that in everything that I do, my goal should be, is it pleasing to God? There's been these wristbands that had WWJD, what would Jesus do? And as an investor, that question is now front and center for me. How much money should I make off of things that I know I'm against? Pornography, and it's interesting because behind every sin, there are shattered lives. you think of the sex trade industry today, where children are being literally kidnapped and sold into the sex slave industry. And movies are made, videos are made involving kids. And I may not know that the companies that I own in my stock portfolio, I may not know that. But there are now ways that we have the ability, with every mutual fund, every ETF, every individual stock, that we can know exactly how much money that company's involved in this area. And not only that, but with philanthropy. Companies are now being pressured to give money to certain groups, Planned Parenthood, which is basically an abortion factory. Do I want to invest in a company that is supporting Planned Parenthood? I don't. I don't personally want to do that. One of the big companies in the United States that has overnight deliveries, you can go on the website, you can buy something from that company, and it's at your home the next day. We all know that the name of that company. Well, they also have a web hosting business. And in that web hosting business, they are providing the web hosting for most of the X-rated pornography-laden movies. Did I know that? I didn't know that. And while I didn't know that, maybe it was okay for me to own the stock. But once I understood that company was doing in business in this area, I don't think I could own the stock. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't own the stock. But I think that many of my clients, over the last year, we've been having conversations with our clients and asking, is this important to you? If it's not important to you, that's okay. We will build a portfolio to help you in that area. But many of our clients have said this: when I didn't know, it wasn't a problem. But now that I know, I kind of have to deal with it. And so this area of biblically responsible investing is an area that we've committed ourselves to provide for our clients if they want it. And it's our job to ask, is this an area that you want your money to be invested in, that honors God, that blesses people, versus do you want your money involved in those areas? And again, let me go through those areas: abortion, pornography, gambling, alcohol, tobacco, marijuana, the anti-family entertainment industry, sex trafficking, and the LGBTQ and the woke movement. If those are areas that disturb you as a believer and you want to rid yourself of those investments, and here's the thing that I think that is a blessing, is that you can remove those investments from your portfolio and you can make just as good a return in your portfolio. And many of my clients say, Steve, it doesn't matter. If I don't make as much, I know that I can answer God truthfully that my money did not go to these areas that are clearly areas that I'm not okay with. So if that is something that resonates with you, you can reach us also, cswadvisors.org. And remember, every Saturday from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., we are on WSVA, Your Money Matters, today, and from 7:05 until 8 a.m. every morning, 5:50 a.m., 92.1 FM. And we would love to have a
content in this material is for general information only and not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. All performance referenced is historical and is no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. All investing involves risk, including loss of principal. No strategy assures success or protects against loss. The opinions expressed in this material do not necessarily reflect the views of LPL Financial.